Imagine going from a broke college dropout to buying a $5 million mansion in just a few years. Sounds like a movie, right? Well, for Camilla Araujo, it's real life. The Brazilian-born content creator who once appeared as contestant number 67 in Mr. Beast's viral Squid Game video is now living every influencer's dream. And the wildest part? She says she paid for that mansion entirely with her OnlyFans income. Yeah, OnlyFans. The same platform people love to debate about. On a recent episode of Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast, Camilla dropped jaws when she revealed her new home cost $5 million. She talked about how at one point she was making over $2 million a month. Yes, a month. Before shifting her focus toward fashion and business ventures. But what's more interesting isn't just the money, it's how she built it. Camilla didn't stumble into fame, she studied it. She treated social media like a science experiment. Regular posting, analyzing which thumbnails clicked, and never missing consistency. She wasn't chasing trends, she was building a brand. Camilla told Logan Paul and Mike Malak that she never saw OnlyFans as a quick cash grab. It was always a calculated move. While many assumed she was just another model on the platform, she described it as her business strategy. She made it clear that her content wasn't explicit or implied, yet people subscribed anyway. Why? Because she understood the psychology behind online engagement. She knew how to sell lifestyle, confidence, and authenticity. She gave her audience something they felt connected to, and in return, they paid for access. "I'm a content creator," she said firmly. "Long-term is the goal," and that mindset shaped everything she did. Instead of spending recklessly, Camilla reinvested her earnings into real estate, into her wardrobe brand, and into learning how to make her success last beyond the internet. To her, the OnlyFans chapter was the launchpad, not the destination. She hinted that one day she plans to make a dramatic exit from the platform, a mic drop moment as she called it, and then fully transition into fashion and real estate. What's fascinating is how strategic she's been with every move. While many influencers blow through their first million on cars, designer bags, and luxury vacations, Camilla went the opposite direction. She started buying properties, some in Florida, including Section 8 rentals and a short-term rental in Fort Lauderdale. She studied the housing market, learned how passive income works, and started seeing herself not just as a content creator, but as a businesswoman. Her dream home, the $5 million mansion she proudly talks about, isn't just a trophy. It's part of a larger plan. "I wanted something that reflected the work I've put in," she said, smiling. "It's not just a house, it's a milestone." But that milestone came with sacrifices. She dropped out of college, leaving behind a traditional path that her family expected her to follow. In Brazil, her decision to pursue OnlyFans full-time wasn't just controversial. It was heartbreaking for her parents. She says they didn't speak to her for almost 5 months after she made the leap. Camilla described that silence from her family as one of the toughest periods of her life. "It wasn't that they didn't love me," she said. "They just didn't understand what I was doing." In their eyes, she'd thrown away her education for something shameful and uncertain. But for Camilla, it wasn't rebellion, it was conviction. She believed that success would speak louder than explanations ever could. And it did. As months turned into years, her family began to see the empire she was quietly building. They watched her move from renting a tiny apartment to owning multiple properties. They saw her brand deals, her investments, her professionalism. Eventually, pride replaced judgment. It was no longer about what she did. It was about how she did it. And now, when she visits Brazil, she's met not with disapproval, but with admiration. "It took time," she admitted. "But now they understand I wasn't chasing fame. I was building freedom. That freedom, she said, means never relying on anyone else again. What makes Camilla's story so magnetic isn't just the success, it's how she reframed what success even means. She didn't want to be another viral name who fades when the algorithm changes. She wanted legacy, something sustainable. That's why she calls her journey the business behind the glamour. Because for every photo shoot and viral clip, there were spreadsheets, marketing plans, and long nights figuring out what worked. She obsessed over analytics, testing which thumbnails performed best, which captions converted, which times her audience was most active. It wasn't luck. It was discipline disguised as creativity. And when she made millions, she didn't see that as an end goal, but as capital for her next phase: fashion, property, and brand building. She even hinted that her OnlyFans exit will be cinematic, a final post that closes the chapter with style before she shifts entirely into her fashion label and home flipping ventures. To her, it's not just about content anymore. It's about control. Even Logan Paul seemed impressed by how grounded she was. During the podcast, he pointed out how OnlyFans has a massive range, from creators who post simple lifestyle content to those in full adult entertainment. And Camilla fits somewhere unexpected in between. She wasn't selling scandal, she was selling personality, strategy, and connection. Her fans felt like they were part of her rise, watching her evolve from a college dropout to a global earner. Some critics still question whether creators really make millions, but Camilla came armed with receipts. She even mentioned cases like a fan spending $1.4 million in a single year across creators. She reminded everyone that while fame might be unpredictable, business isn't if you treat it like one. Her focus now is to build something that lasts when the spotlight fades. The goal, she said, is longevity. It's a simple statement, but one that reveals how she's thinking far beyond the viral moment. Camilla's story also forces a bigger conversation about how the internet reshapes success. A decade ago, a platform like OnlyFans would have been dismissed as taboo or temporary. Today, it's producing self-made millionaires who use it as a stepping stone into other industries. For Camilla, it was never about the platform. It was about using it as leverage. She built her audience there, monetized it smartly, and then redirected that money into something tangible. Her $5 million mansion isn't just a luxury. It's proof of concept. Proof that a digital hustle, if managed with intention, can buy real-world security. And yet, she's quick to remind fans that none of it came easy. Behind the highlight reels are years of constant posting, staying consistent even when numbers dropped, and treating followers like investors rather than strangers. She wasn't chasing clout. She was building credibility. Every photo, every caption, every post was a piece of a long-term plan. Now with her $5 million home secured, a growing real estate portfolio, and a fashion line in development, Camilla Araujo has positioned herself as more than just an influencer. She's a symbol of modern ambition. Her journey shows that success doesn't have a single path, and sometimes the most unconventional roads lead to the most extraordinary destinations. She went from being a broke student with family disappointment weighing her down to becoming a financially independent woman shaping her own empire. And what's remarkable is her mindset. She's not satisfied with the moment. She's building for decades ahead, already thinking about her next move, her next brand, her next investment. For her, fame isn't the reward. It's the marketing. The real victory is ownership. Whether you agree with her choices or not, Camilla's story is a reminder that digital hustle, discipline, and self-belief can turn controversy into capital and dreams into square footage. That's her real mic drop.